We're here with John Conti, guy from beautiful Niagara Falls, New York. And John, thanks for taking the time to talk to us. And one of the things I did want to mention, we talk about Niagara and how beautiful that is. One of the other things is many of these games looks like a Canisius class reunion. You see so many guys on the different rosters that are from Canisius. Talk about what's that's like to play against the guys that you play with normally.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's nice. Obviously, here we already have a strong contingent of guys who are from Canisius already. But it is kind of nice. Pretty much everybody we play each night, there's somebody from Canisius. So, and a lot of guys have had a good amount of success too, which is really nice to see. So, I think it's good for the program ourselves, to be able to have some success in this league because it is, a pretty strong league and it is a heck of a lot of fun, to be able to go out there. And sometimes it's not exactly the best because, they might know things about you that other teams might not know, or you might know things about them. But for the most part, it's real nice being able to see a lot of the guys that otherwise you wouldn't be able to see. So.
Do you get some friendly ribbing as the game goes along?
During the game, you don't really see each other as much, but I can tell you after, with different chats and stuff, you might say a thing or two about, what happened that night. So
talk about Canisius. You're playing left field for us, and is that what you're doing at Canisius as well?
I played kind of all over, left, center, right, a little bit everything. So
yeah, well, you've got the speed to cover all three of those fields, so that's an important part of it. And I'll tell you what, of late, within I guess the last 3 weeks or so, you've really turned it on at the plate. What changed? Was it a confidence thing that you started to get better at the plate, or just getting used to it?
I could say just kind of get into a little rhythm at the plate. I've been working on just my entire feel and working at mechanically, not worrying about a bunch of little things, just kind of my entire feel at the plate and carrying that over from the tee to BP and then to the game. And then I've been trying to just keep them with it really the whole time, and then incorporating that with having an approach and a plan at the plate. And really that's kind of what it's been. It's been able to marry the two and have a plan and be able to execute the plan. So
part of that plan is your speed. How much does that influence what you decide to do when you step up to the plate? You're a leadoff batter, let's say.
Yeah.
And so Coach Barone doesn't necessarily have anything in mind for you at that point as a leadoff batter. What goes through your mind? Do you because I know you can bunt and get on, and he pretty much seems like anytime you want. What goes on in your mind to decide that's what you want to do, or do you want to swing away?
I usually try to check out where the infield's playing, see what guys are playing where, see how good those guys are at covering from places. Like that's part of the thing too. When you can go back to the Canisius thing, I know some of the guys that I played with will know. I will look to do that in different situations, so they'll actually be able to play in, or be able to try to defend it. But, if I see guys back or I feel like there might be an advantage that day on the field, whether it's the conditions or anything, I just feel like that might be the best percentage play to go and do that. So I just kind of make a decision as I'm walking up there and evaluate everything. So.
Yeah. One of the things you seem to have good back control, and why I say that is a lot of the hits that you've had lately have been ones in the hole between the infielders, first and second, and then between. You've had your share of hits between short and third too, and that's usually a pretty decent hole. It seems as though most teams, regardless of the batter, like to pinch the middle infielders in, and that gives you that opportunity to shoot those gaps that are out there. What's it take to have that kind of back control and be able to hit those holes that are available to you?
I would say kind of just really what you practice, each day. I'd say based on the pitch that's coming in, I would say, dictates whatever. But if you have a good path and good swing and understanding through balls, really, I think that kind of rewards itself. If you have a good swing, you should be able to find those holes, hit balls hard. If you even hit balls hard, it makes it a lot easier to find the holes. Gives you a lot less reaction time to go get balls. So I think that's just part of what it's been, has been able to hit some balls hard and, in the right spots according to the right pitch, and then, it's been finding its holes. So
yeah, good. Talk about your youth baseball days, Little League or maybe high school, or both if you want. Talk about how you got started, what age you got started.
I probably got started in the local Little League when I was about, 5, maybe 6 years old.
Yeah.
And then played just around there in that league until I was about 10. And then I started playing a little more serious travel ball in Lewiston, New York, until I was about 14 or so. And then when I was 15, I made the kind of jump to a serious travel team where we really traveled around the Northeast and really played tournaments, and that was all the way up until my senior year of high school. So I really enjoyed the team aspect and like a bunch of guys that I grew up with in Lewiston, being able to be with those guys for a few years. We were able to kind of grow up together. And then, when it got time, just be able to graduate into like a, more advanced program and really kind of narrow in and focus on baseball was, something I really enjoyed and wanted to do. So
one of the things as you have played through your younger years, have you always been in the outfield? Has that been your primary?
When I turned 10, yeah, I turned to the outfield because I was at first base or second base or something just because it was little league, it didn't really matter. But once it really kind of got a little more competitive, at being a lefty, I didn't really have too many options to go places, and I had some speed, so I was in the outfield, and I really never left since. So.
All right. Now, we did find out, folks, and I didn't know this, but John also does impersonations, and he does a pretty good one of me, and we're not going to ask him to do it here. And we'll just keep that amongst ourselves. Maybe we'll get to that at some point here before the season's over, but I enjoyed your impersonation, so it was a lot of fun.
Well, I appreciate you taking it well. I don't want, some people could take it the wrong way, but
No, it was well done. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you.
John.
Appreciate it.
Yep.